We live in an era where every second is supposedly worth its weight in gold. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The clock is ticking and you're still here, staring at your phone screen or trying to figure out why life is passing you by. Everyone says, value your time. But you know what? That's complete nonsense. Because you won't find yourself until you lose time. No, I'm not trying to demotivate you. I just want you to stop being afraid of losing time. Do you know why most people get stuck? Because they're so scared of wasting time that they end up doing nothing at all. They sit there, paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake. And in the end, they lose something much bigger, their life. Let's be honest. Have you ever started something new and then quit after a week because it's not for me? Or because it's too late? Maybe it was a skill you wanted to learn, or a hobby that seemed silly, or maybe even a relationship you ended because it didn't feel right. Well, here's the bad news. You'll never know what's truly yours until you spend enough time on it. Row 110. Here's the truth. No one wants to admit. Self-discovery is a process of trial and error. And it takes time. A lot of time. You might spend years chasing a dream that turns out not to be yours. And you know what? That's okay. Because those lost years will teach you who you really are. Without them, you'd just be wandering in the fog, thinking you know what you want, while merely repeating someone else's ideas. Take me, for example. I spent 2 years learning programming, even though I hated every minute of it. Every evening I sat in front of the computer, feeling my brain slowly turn into mush. Eventually, I quit. Sounds like a failure, right? But you know what I realized? I realized I enjoy working with people, not code. That I'm better at creating stories than algorithms. If I hadn't lost those 2 years, I would have never found what truly suits me. The problem is that we're all too focused on results. We want instant answers, quick fixes, immediate outcomes, but life doesn't work that way. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And sometimes you'll have to run in circles before you find the right direction. And if you keep looking back, counting how much time you've lost, you'll never see where you're going. So allow yourself to lose time. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be bad at something before you become good at it. Because it's in those mistakes that you'll discover your true interests, your fears, your strengths. It's in those moments that you'll understand who you are. But here's the catch. Losing time only makes sense if you do it consciously. There's a difference between spending a year learning a new skill and spending a year scrolling through social media. One is experience. The other is distraction. So yes, lose time, but lose it the right way. Don't be afraid to experiment, but don't let yourself get lost in emptiness. And let's talk about the scariest word in this story: failure. You're afraid of it, right? Afraid people will judge you for wasting time. But here's what they don't understand. Failure isn't the end of the road. It's part of the journey. Every great person you admire has gone through dozens of failures. Their secret isn't that they didn't lose time. It's that they kept moving forward, even when it felt hopeless. Right now, you might be thinking, but what if I never find myself? Good question. The answer is simple. You've already found yourself. You are the sum of all your attempts, mistakes, and victories. You're the person who once decided to try something new, even if it ended in failure. You're the person who keeps searching, even when it feels like there's no answer. And that alone makes you special. So stop being afraid of losing time. Stop being afraid of making mistakes. Because the only way to truly waste time is by doing nothing. The only way to lose yourself is by stopping the search. Look around. You have access to endless opportunities. Want to write? Start a blog? Want to draw? Buy some pencils? Want to travel? Make a plan. Yes, it'll take time. Yes, you might fail. But you know what? That's okay. Because every step, even the wrong one, brings you closer to who you truly are. And remember, you won't find yourself until you lose time. But that doesn't mean you should waste it. It means you need to allow yourself to be human, to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow. To not be afraid of losing time, because you know it always pays back tenfold. Let's dive deeper into this. Why are we so afraid of losing time? Because we've been taught that time is a resource you can't get back. And that's true. But what if I told you that time isn't just a resource? It's also an investment. When you spend time on something that truly matters to you, you're investing in yourself. Even if the results aren't immediate, you're still gaining valuable experience. Experience that makes you stronger, wiser, and more confident. For example, imagine you decide to learn music. You buy a guitar, watch tutorials on YouTube, but after a month you realize it's not for you. You might say, I wasted my time. But in reality, you gained more than you think. You learned that music isn't your path. You picked up the basics of playing guitar. You realized you enjoy listening to music more than creating it. That knowledge is valuable. Or take another example. Imagine you decide to start a business. You invest money, time, and energy, but after a year, the project fails. You might feel crushed, but if you analyze the experience carefully, you'll realize you learned a lot. How to manage finances, how to communicate with clients, how to make decisions. Those skills will stay with you forever, even if the business didn't succeed. The key is not to be afraid to start again. Because every new beginning is a chance to apply what you've learned. Every new project is an opportunity to improve. And you know what? Over time, you'll start noticing patterns. You'll figure out what you truly enjoy and what you don't. You'll learn to distinguish what's worth your time and what's not. So what's your choice? Keep being afraid of losing time, or start losing it the right way. Because in the end, it's not about time. It's about you, about who you want to be. And if you're ready to take the risk, if you're ready to lose time for yourself, then know this. You're already on the path to finding yourself. Look at yourself. You're stronger than you think. You have more resources than you realize. And you have a choice. Right now. You can keep living in fear, regret, and doubt. Or you can take a step forward, even if it's a small one. Because small steps lead to big changes.